Hello, everyone. Welcome to Drumfills Kafé. It's the 8th season, and today, my name is Joel. Today, we have a fantastic guest, Mr. Yoni Madar from Israel. For those who don't know him, Yoni is a phenomenal drummer. Technically, he's a prodigy, technical prodigy. He wrote 7 different drum books. He's currently working on 4 other ones. He's been seen by millions of drummers on Instagram, YouTube, all that. He's a social media sensation. He's doing clinic. He's teaching all around the world, from students from all around the world via Skype. Also in person in Israel. He's also an active musician. He's playing drums. He's playing guitar. He's playing bass guitar and keyboard. He's just a phenomenal musician. So we're going to welcome him right now. But before we do so, please make sure that you visit all the pages, social media pages of Drumfills Kafé. So YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. Give these pages a like, subscribe, comment to the video. Take as much information as you can from hundreds of phenomenal drummers. And also visit the drumfillscafe.com. So without further ado, please let's welcome our guest from today, Mr. Yoni Madar. And here it is, Mr. Yoni. How are you? How are you doing? I can't really hear you properly. Can you? I think you muted yourself.
Now you hear me.
No, there you go. Now I can hear you. How are you, my man?
Thank you.
Doing good. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for accepting this invitation. It is a pleasure and an honor for us to have such a phenomenal drummer like yourself. So good to see you, man. How's everything?
Thank you. You know, in Israel now we have war.
It's very sorry about this horrific situation. Where our thoughts of the entire drumming community are with you guys. So
Thank you.
very sorry about that. But let's try to bring some more positive into this thing and talk about drumming a little bit with you are. Thanks for sharing your incredible knowledge with us. Yanni, from the get-go, I was reading your bio, and the first thing that really comes to my mind, and this is insane, you know, everybody, they just start drumming at 9, 10, or whatever it is. But you started drumming at 10, but also you started bass guitar, electric guitar, and piano. So you started 4 of them at the same time. Talk about not wasting any time. So I would like you to tell us the story. How everything started for you. Was music around in your house as a kid? Were your parents musician? How everything started?
The thing with my family, first of all, my English is not perfect, so I have a lot of mistakes while speaking. So sorry about that.
No worries.
And my family, no one play any instrument.
Okay.
And the only thing that makes me want to play is Genesis, the early Genesis, 70s.
Brilliant.
Led by the Pound, the Foxtrot, the Lamp Lies Down on Broadway, all those albums. It was in my home, and that's the reason that I wanted to be a musician, because I heard Genesis, early Genesis, and that makes me to want to start playing.
Wow.
And the first instrument that I got, it was drums, but immediately after a couple of weeks, I had the guitar and keyboards and bass guitar, but at the first I concentrate on drums, not practicing on drums, and also when I try to rest. So for me to rest, it's to play the guitar. So
okay.
So when I practice on guitar, for me it was resting from drums.
Okay. Wow.
That was the thing, and then I heard some bass player, marking from level 42.
No, but I should, but I don't. But
check out level 42.
I will. Level 40. Uh,
It's a band from the 80s.
okay, I'll check it out for sure. Thanks, man.
And I heard them play the bass, and immediately I want to also play the bass, and and Chick Corea on piano. I want to play
Of course.
piano. I want I wanted
Of
to play everything. That
this is this is fascinating. So the moment you took a break from whatever instrument, your break is you just practice another one, and that's
that
it. This is insane, but this is phenomenal because actually I was just going through your Instagram like a few minutes ago, and there you are, like smashing the drum and playing guitar and bass and both sides, and this is crazy. And this is another thing that really fascinate me about you. Not only you play four instruments to a very high level, but you play them both sides. Like you can play bass both sides, guitar, same with drumming. So how's that became a thing to you? At what point you was like, you know what, let me just flip everything out and let me try. And how did it started, and what did it do to your playing, to your musicmanship?
when I started, of course, I start with my side, which is
Mm-hmm.
right side. I'm
Mm-hmm.
right-handed person.
Yeah.
And after 20 years, I always thought about coordination. Coordination, that's a
Mm.
very important thing if you want
Yeah.
to play in every instrument.
Of course.
And I always develop coordination stuff and polyrhythms. It always came with the coordination, polyrhythm, and I always try to think about the next step. What is the next step? What is the
Mm-hmm.
next step?
Yeah.
And because I had some problem with my pinky, my uh, left hand,
Mm-hmm.
I
Mm-hmm.
try to play things, let's say, like Ellen Oswald. You know Ellen Oswald? Ellen Oswald
Mm-hmm.
is a great guitar
Mm-hmm.
player.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I had a problem with my pinky. So,
Mm-hmm.
so I say to myself, okay, I'm going to flip the guitar because because of the pinky also.
To fix the pinky problem. Wow. Okay.
I
That's
start to try.
fascinating, man.
It was very fun. And the thing is, when I work hard on my coordination, it's hard and it's sometimes it makes you suffer. But
Of
I
course.
like
Yeah.
it. For some reason, I like that because it makes me think I'm not wasting my time. I always
Yeah.
get
Mm.
process, get progress. Always in process. Always to be in process. Coordination process.
Of course. Of course. And if you're struggling, you get better. It means you're gonna get better.
Yes, of course. Of course, the thing with the coordination, it needs to serve the music. Okay, so
Of course.
in that time that I work hard on my coordination, I try hard to hear the best musician in the world, like Ellen
Mm-hmm.
Oswald, like
Mm-hmm.
for me, Genesis, it's also a great thing. Of course, I hear a lot of jazz, a lot of
Mm-hmm.
fusion,
Yeah.
Chick Corea, Ellen Oswald, Pat
Mm-hmm.
Metheny. Pat Metheny is one of my
Yeah.
favorites. And all
Nice.
those great musicians, you always hear great music, great musician, great music. And in that time, you work hard on your coordination without try to how do you say that when you try to play someone else music? What's the name of that?
Somewhat well, learning, copying, transcribing,
Copy, yeah, that's correct.
copying. Yeah.
How you say some words. The way,
Copying. Try to mimic, imitate.
yeah, yeah. So I didn't try to mimic or copy anything. Or
Okay.
only hear it a lot, hear it, and sing
Okay.
it.
Oh wow. Okay. Interesting. So you didn't try to, let's say you hear a great drummer.
Didn't try. Only
You
Phil
didn't
Collins.
try to.
Phil Collins, I try when I was
Okay.
something like 11, 12. I tried to
Okay.
play Selling England by the Pound. A lot of seven,
Skills
eight
kind.
grooves. If you know those albums.
Yeah. Yeah.
Phil Collins, I tried to play Phil Collins, and also it's not 100% that I didn't try, but most cases I try to hear it
Okay.
and sing it.
Gotcha. Just so it gets into your brain, your subconscious
Yeah,
mind,
yeah,
and
yeah.
just as a part of your vocabulary. Wow.
And work hard on my coordination.
Yeah.
So the thing that's to work hard on your coordination, and in that time you hear great music, and then you start to play something. You don't know what you're going to play, but you have nice coordination
Yeah.
and you have nice information with your brain because
Mm-hmm.
you heard hear a lot of great musicians.
Of course.
So a lot of times it makes something new. You know what I mean?
Of course, both are connecting, and then you create your own style and your own.
Now try to play anyone, because
Mm,
if you play someone in deep way, that make it can take your position and you start
yeah,
to hit, to sound like him. And for me as an
exactly.
artist is a little bit, of course I love everyone, but I want
Of
to
course.
make my voice, you know what I mean?
Of course,
And
having your own voice on the drum, your own color, your own sound, which you're really, really, you're very successful at it. Like when we hear you play, it's like this is Yoni for sure. This is a robot, or this is Yoni, because it's just this is just incredible.
I
This
tell
is
you,
just
I
great.
have both sides. I have the robot that's practice on coordination always, and I have the artist while improvisation and try to
Of
make
course.
my voice.
Nice. But all great drummers and great musicians really have balance of both. At least I feel like it. Like they're both incredibly gifted, or not gifted, but they work really hard on technique, coordination, their skills, whatever, their chops. But also they're really their musicmanship is really high, and their creativity and all that. So I really acknowledge you for having really both of them at a very, very high level. So this is
Thank you, thank you.
incredible. And another stuff that I want to talk to you about is your technique, like especially the open close technique. Is I don't know if you remember, but I actually took a drum lessons with you. Was just a bit before COVID. Was by
You
Skyback for
you
I
took
did,
one
yeah.
lesson.
Well, I
I
did
don't
took a lesson
remember.
with you. Yeah, well, we probably had loads of them, but it was a different background as well. So, but that was yeah 2 months before COVID or whatever, and we worked on the open close things, which totally changed my playing like big time. So thanks to you for that. But anyway, it's not about that. I want to talk to you about your technical skills. You like your hand technique. It's just ridiculous. I was just watching a video of the five diddle, which is like five right, right, then five left, right, left. But just the speed of that, it's just
That's because the
ridiculous.
open close, you know.
Just because of that. But how's that? I mean, at what point you said, okay, I'm just going to push my technique like crazy? Was it a conscious decision, or you just start practicing and then you just get next level, next level, next level? How's the technical aspect of it? I don't know if my question is clear.
I
How's
think
the
I know. I think
technical
I know.
aspect became such a huge thing in your personality and your success, actually?
Let me tell you something. I think I understand your question. You asked me why I developed so hard my technique. That's what you're asking. What's the
Exactly
reason?
why, and then when is this became a thing? Was it a conscious decision? What
It's a
happened?
conscious decision.
Yeah.
With me, it's everything is conscious. I always make a decision and do that. And the reason is because if you know the thing is called in net speed. You know what I mean when I say
It is
net speed.
very, yeah.
So first of all, speed is not the always the title, but if you hear a lot of great musicians like Chick Corea, when he starts to starts to get to the groove, he play really fast.
Yeah,
He's
yeah,
a genius musician and he play also fast. Pat
yeah.
Metheny a lot of time play really fast, and also Alan Allsworth,
Hmm.
guitar player,
Yeah,
one of the greatest of all
yeah,
time, play
definitely.
very fast with genius musicians. So the music is great with speed. So the speed is not the title, the music is the title. But
Of course.
as a musician, as a player, you want to improve your skills, and speed is one of the things. You can hear also a classic piano players
Hmm.
back then. I mean, 200 years ago or something like that. They
Yeah.
all they all have speed,
They all
and
play. Yeah, of course.
so speed is not a thing to make the music great, but if you have also speed, that's a thing. So speed was one of my questions: uh, how I get, and how I improve my speed ability. And I saw that my body can create some very specific speed. It's like you have a car. So if you have a
Hmm.
Mercedes, so that's the speed. If you have a
Hmm.
Fiat, that's the speed. If you
Yeah,
have a GMC, that's the speed. Every
yeah.
car has, that's what we call innate speed. So every person, every human being have the speed that he got when he born.
Which car would you relate to in that inner speed? Which one would be yours?
So my speed in my body speed is not so great. It's like something like medium plus,
Okay.
not,
Okay.
not
Okay.
more than that. But I saw a lot of people that play so fast, and I didn't know what to do with that. What am I to do with that speed? And I start to think about that, and then I saw people that play open close, tiki tiki tiki
Mhm.
tiki with one hand,
Yeah.
and that makes me so curious about
Mm.
what is going on, because I understand
Yeah.
immediately it's not in that speed. It's not came from it's not the speed that you're born with.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
technique speed. So we have a huge difference between the speed that you're born with
Yeah.
or technical speed. Okay,
Mhm. Mhm.
can you see the window? If I
Yeah.
put my fingers on the window, it's like trrrt. You understand what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's like you have all those lines and tick 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 tick
Yeah.
tick. So you don't
Illustrate.
need a body speed to create tick tick tick.
Yeah.
So that's the difference between your body create the speed or the technique create the speed. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
we have a lot of example about it. And I
Great
start
explanation, by the way. Yeah.
what again?
A great explanation, by the way, with the
Oh,
window thing. It makes it really
thank
clear.
you.
Yeah.
So that's the thing. I can tell you. The human being. We are not beard. Beard. I don't know. No,
Yeah.
beard. That's a beard.
It's the
Bird.
bird is the one
Bird.
flying. Yeah. Yeah. Bird.
So
Yeah.
we
Yeah.
can't fly, but we have a plane.
Yeah. It's true. It's very
So
true.
we
Yeah.
can't be under the water, but we have the submarine. Okay.
It's very true.
So
Yeah. Yeah.
that kind of things.
Yeah. So we can use different tools to achieve a results that naturally we could not produce or execute or.
Exactly. So I start to think that way, and how I'm going to improve my skills as a musician, as a drummer, as a player, without to be depend on my body. If that's correct to
Mm-hmm.
say.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
And that's what I did. I start to learn very deeply the open close technique, and also
Mm-hmm.
the Jojo Meyer.
Yeah.
By the way, Steve Gadd
The,
back then also played that. I didn't know that only in the last
mm.
years. I saw Steve Gadd also doing
Oh,
that with the
really? Well,
foot.
nice.
Yeah. So Steve Gadd did it
Also
also,
use the heel toe technique. Yeah.
and I started to investigate that, and also the swivel.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
And all those technique. I It put a lot of time to understand them and try to
Yeah. Of course.
develop my own technique also on my own movements, like the Tony Williams 5.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Honestly, I didn't know that Tony Williams do that 5.
Mm-hmm.
So it came from my body because I always practice. Oh, we can do 3 and 2, t t t t t tiki tiki
Mm-hmm.
tiki 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 tiki, and then people start to say, "Hey, that's Tony Williams." I didn't know that, so I
Mm.
start to
So you just
investigate.
naturally came up with that, only to realize later that's a
He
Tony
did,
Williams thing.
yeah, yeah.
Nice.
He didn't learn that from him, but he did it way
He used
before
to
me.
did it. Yeah. Yeah. You
Yeah,
see, that's very interesting because early on in the interview, you said you were practicing your coordination in that case, but now technique, but also listening to the greats. So now unconsciously, your brain connected both. So you started to, did
that,
unconsciously
that,
the Tony Williams 5. But that's brilliant. That's brilliant. Which
that,
bring me
that
a question. While you were going through all of these insane advanced technical stuff and coordination, and were you studying under someone, or you kind of learn it on your own while watching information DVDs or whatever
basically
it was?
I'm self-taught.
Okay. Wow. Okay.
I'm self-taught. I didn't learn the drums for. I can't sell from anyone, because when you see Jojo Meyer playing
Yeah.
on screen, you have eyes
Yeah.
and you have ears, and you start to hear it again and again and again and again. And a lot of times, it's better than someone that tell you what to do. You need when
Mm.
you try to understand, that came deep than someone tell you what to do. In my
Yeah.
in my opinion, that's my opinion about it. I
Yeah.
always try to understand with my mind, not
Of
because
course.
I want you to do that, exactly that. And that
Yeah.
kind of approach, it's of course it's not suit to everyone,
Mm-hmm.
but for
Mm-hmm.
me it was a very great challenge, and makes me a lot of joy to try to
Mm.
understand Giorgio Meyer, try to understand Buddy Rich, try to
Yeah.
understand. Phil Collins, try to understand movements. By the way, my
Yeah.
title is movement. I always try to make a movement with my shoulders, with
Yeah.
my
Yeah.
elbows, the small
Yeah.
movement with the fingers.
And there's
That
a
was
lot of movement in your playing. When we see you play, it's gorgeous. It's like someone dancing eye level ballet or something.
thank you.
It's just fantastically
I
beautiful.
like that you said ballet. I like that because
No, but
I
it does
always
feel like it.
think about this dancing. For
Yeah.
me, play the drums like dancing. That's the thing.
Hmm.
I always try. But sometimes it's too much technique, too much technique. Technique is the title. But I'm telling you in that interview, I
No.
can tell you my title is not technique. Technique serve the music.
Yeah.
But I really like the magic behind the technique. It's like magic,
Of
you
course.
see
Of
someone
course.
like Dave Weckl, he start
Yeah.
to
Yeah. Yeah.
you say what he's doing, what he's
Yeah.
doing. It's like magic. So that's technique aspect. You can hear Pat Metheny a lot of time. He do a lot of music, very slow music, and
Hmm.
everything is about harmony
Exactly.
and sound.
And nuances. And yeah.
So that's music. That's music. Harmony and sound.
Yeah. Hmm.
But the aspect of movement, speed, coordination, polyrhythm, it always makes me excited.
Hmm.
But absolutely, it's not the title. Title is music with extremely technique.
But it's like very high level of technique on the
Extremely,
side.
I
That's
like
funny.
technique. It makes the thing more excited. Great music with great technique. I think it's nice combination.
Well, they
I
go
always
together because even if you would be the most, have all these, someone who have fantastic musical ideas, without the technique to back it up, you're not going to be able to execute those ideas. So they got to come in by hand. I mean, in my humble opinion, they had to come together.
that's the
But
thing.
that's the thing. And it's just funny to me that you say technique is not the title when you're
It's not the
right
title.
up there. It's not, but it's just
I
the
tell you
technique is
something.
just insane. But yes,
I
go
tell
ahead.
you something. Those days, you have the Instagram, you have the YouTube, you have the
Yeah,
TikTok, you have the what we have more Facebook.
Facebook. Yeah,
So if you can to those media with your sound, okay, I have a nice sound. Oh, great. So people, it's not interesting. It's interesting musician. It's not interesting
yeah,
people. So you
yeah,
have it's split. We have the musician that
yeah.
you need to be professional.
Of
You
course.
need to respect yourself with
Yeah,
nice playing,
yeah,
and you have the audience. In the bottom of the line, if it's correct to say, you make something for people to
yeah,
enjoy. So if
yeah,
people
yeah.
enjoy a technique, so I give you technique, no
You give
problem.
them what they want. Yeah,
No, I like people. I like to make people enjoy, and then
of
if they
course.
like technique, let's get. And in that technique, I try to put music. I try to put some movements. You
Yeah,
say ballet, it's
yeah,
like dancing.
yeah,
It's for me, dancing, music, movement,
yeah,
timing.
yeah. Everything together. Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, drumming is dancing. Basically, it's very similar. It's very 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 similar. It's very connected, I should say.
you,
I want
you,
to
you
talk a
know,
little bit.
you know that Butteridge dancing.
It
What's
was
the
a
name?
tap dancer. Yeah,
Steps. That's the name. Steps.
tap dancer.
Tap dancer. Okay,
Yeah,
that
yeah,
it
yeah,
was
yeah, yeah,
great with that. It was
yeah,
great.
yeah.
It, and all the heavy metal players. They also need to practice on.
They do the tap that's with the long hair and the beard that and the tattoos. That's funny. But it totally makes sense. Like it totally makes sense from a technical standpoint. Like you use these techniques, sorry, on the pedals, and then you're good to go. It's fantastic.
so,
I
so
want to talk Yanni, a little bit more about the music aspect of thing because you're also a very active musician. Like you play with loads of band. Um, all over Israel. Tell me about like the music aspect, because we talked about the drum thing. And I want to ask you a question also. Do you get gigs as a drummer, obviously, but are you also having gigs as a guitar player, as a bass player? Like, how's the gig? Well, I understand. I know it's very different, unfortunately, but on a more normal basis, let's say? Well, how's the gig situation for you?
I tell you, the thing with my other instrument is I try to do it the best that I can, but with that, it was 100% for me, for myself. Sometimes people want me to play on records or something, so I try to help them with that. Maybe sometimes bass, sometimes guitar, not a lot, very few.
Okay.
But the main thing was for me to create my own music and to play my music, without hey, you are a guitar player, can you please play me that or that? Oh, I can't. Oh, it's very expensive. Okay, we need now 1 month to make it out, or
Yeah.
So now I can sit with myself with my room and to create my own stuff because I can.
Yeah.
And that was one of the main reasons that I learned to play other instruments.
Gotcha. Well, it makes sense. It's much easier with the schedule. So,
Of course.
it's boom.
Sometimes people don't like that you play everything. They want, why you don't get other musicians to play? I play with musicians as a drummer.
Of course.
But the other instrument, it was 100% for my own music, my own things that I try to do.
Okay. So you're producing like your own record right now? You have an album? Just tell us about it so people can look for it. People can buy it online.
I have an album, but
Nice.
that album is not it's not too much drums happening there. It's more keyboards. Yeah, it's more keyboards, guitar, that kind of stuff.
Nice.
I have drums. I play the drums there, but the drums a lot of times very
very laid back basics.
very simple.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I'm a drummer, but when I play drums with people, or when I play drums for myself, I play very simple, a lot of time.
Of course.
And people play for me. Where is the fills? Where is the cymbals?
Yeah, I know.
I think drums, when you play with people, if you play fusion and busy jazz, of course.
Yeah, that's the right thing to do. Yeah.
Most cases you need to be, you need to serve. So you need to create timing, you need to create sound, and to get all the band together. I think that's the secret of Steve Gadd. Steve Gadd always make everyone sound together and feel comfortable.
Exactly.
That's one of the secret of Steve Gadd, I think.
Oh, definitely.
That's how I think about it. So a lot of people want, they want you always make a lot of feels, a lot of noise. So, I'm a professional musician. If I don't feel that I need to do a feel, if I don't feel to do a feel, that's a...
that's a funny one.
So I don't do a feel. I don't like too much feels. Especially if you play bass guitar,
of course.
So if you are a fusion drummer, so you need to.
You need to cool it off. Definitely. That's your job. That's your job. Like, I play gigs all the time as well, and playing a gig tonight again, and it's just basic stuff. And yes, fills obviously, but basic fills just to serve the music and to lead the other musician and make them sound better, and proper dynamics and respect the structure and all that in the grooves and time, obviously. But that's one thing that I guess younger drummer could get wrong. I guess like to overplay and try to do as much as possible when really the goal is try to do as less as possible. When really
overplaying is disease. I'm telling you that.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. We should write it.
Overplaying is disease because the drum is not the center. Most cases.
No.
I tell you, Weckel with Chick Corea, the drums can be sometimes the center.
Of course.
Always when Dave Weckel, for example, when he play busy, it suits the music. It's very. That's the thing. That's what he needs to do. That's what Chick Corea want him to do.
Of course.
But he decided to do not because I want to show you that I'm a great. No, because it's great for the music.
Yeah.
But when you play, let's say, if you play with the Beatles, or if you play with Led Zeppelin, or if you play with Pink Floyd, that's a great example. Okay?
That's a great example, yeah.
You need to be able, you need to love that. When I play with someone and he play too much, bah, and he don't love that. I don't know how to say it. If he
It
doesn't love
doesn't
that,
like it if you don't like it.
doesn't
Yeah,
like
that
it,
makes sense. Yeah, makes sense.
you feel it immediately. You
Hmm,
feel it.
hmm,
Okay,
hmm.
play the note, play it correct. He's on time, but you feel something wrong. Something wrong. That's
There's
not
no
that.
groove. There's no oomph to it. Yeah, yeah.
Because you need to like to play simple. You need to love that. I loved it. I
Of
really love
course,
to play
of course.
boom, back, Jordan, boom, man, back. I
Yeah,
like that.
that's fun. Yeah.
People think that I want to do a roll all the time. I don't like to do the roll. Only on Instagram. The roll is
Yeah.
for
No,
not for.
but that's so true. This is so true. Like the the big fails and the big technique and all that. That's really like a social media showing off Instagram thing, which is doing fantastic. But the real life music scenario is as you just simple stuff. It's like
I think
so right.
that's what I like. I like to play, a lot of pop style. I can't say that I'm pop producer or pop. That's the only my thing. Of course not. But if I get that situation and I need to play simple, I like that. I enjoy that.
Hmm, hmm.
If you can't enjoy playing simple, I'm not speaking about you. I speak in general.
Yeah,
That
no, no, of course.
that's a problem.
Yeah,
People need to enjoy to play simple and to
of course.
make it very sound great. It needs to
Yeah.
be sound. It needs to sound great.
Hmm,
Okay.
hmm.
So if you
Yeah,
don't like it, it can't sound great. It can't.
of
It's
course.
something always.
Yeah,
You
no,
want.
people are gonna feel it.
That's the thing. If you
Yeah,
want to play Pink Floyd, that's for example.
yeah.
You need to be very in the sound, in the timing, in the feel, in the everything needs
Hmm.
to be really,
On
really.
check and connect and yeah, yeah,
That's the thing.
yeah.
And that's what I like. But if you came with those stuff to the social media, so maybe some producer going to like you. But
Yeah.
you can't put only those kind of stuff on social media. I give you an
Well, if
example. One of the great of all time, Todd Schussman. You know Todd Schussman?
yeah, of course, yeah.
He's
Hmm,
my friend, and I love this guy a lot.
hmm.
When he play,
Yeah,
he's he's I like how he play, but he's with the band. The band
yeah,
wants those things, and
yeah.
you can hear his snare. Bah,
Ah, yeah, yeah. It's
bah,
phenomenal. Yeah,
bah.
he's
Everyone, it's
insane.
like if you say robot, he had a
Yeah, yeah,
snare.
yeah. No, he's solid, man.
It's so
He's
solid.
incredible. He's incredible. Yeah.
So that's a example of to play some technique, and that's very suited to the music. Very
Yeah, yeah,
with no.
yeah, yeah.
I
He's a
like.
great example of that. Like when the technique serves the music and both at the highest level, Tatsuka man is he's
I
up there.
think
He's one of the best examples for that,
I
obviously.
think Todd Zuckerman is a top five that time. That's
He's
my
incredible.
opinion.
Yeah, yeah,
My opinion.
yeah. It
And
would be hard to disagree with that. He's phenomenal.
a lot of musicians deal with a lot of technique, but I tell you something about technique. If the technique is here and your musicality is here, so that's a problem.
Mm-hmm.
You need always to be more musician than technical.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
People
Mm-hmm.
can say, you are more technical, but I'm speak about the truth, not about what people think. Okay,
Of course, of course.
you need to be more musician than technical ability, always. So if your technical ability is more, I can hear it immediately. I can hear it immediately, and
In a second.
unfortunately, I don't have too much respect to too much technique without too much music. That's the
Mm-hmm.
thing. That needs to be connected, and the music needs to be or a little bit or way more,
Oh,
but
way higher.
at least a little bit more, at least.
Yeah, yeah. That's brilliant.
That's the balance. That's the balance. If it's
Yeah,
if it's if the technique is more, that's a problem.
yeah. That's brilliant. I wish people are gonna really watch this interview because there's so much gorgeous information right there, and there's so much to learn from talking to you. I'm learning. I'm having a blast right now. So thank you so much again. Yanni, I want to talk a little bit about. We talked about your approach to playing and practice and technique and all that, and Instagram and your gigs and musicmanship and all that. I want to talk about your books a little bit because you wrote, if I'm correct, 7 book you wrote already, right? Can you just talk to us a little bit about these books and where can the people get them?
I recommend it all, you know.
Go get all of them, guys. Get all of them, of
Okay,
course.
but the thing is, every book deal with something else. Every book deal with something else, like different groove, different count,
Mm-hmm.
and the main something that connect all the book together is the polyrhythm. It's always
Okay.
connect with polyrhythm. The first book, Motion Control, it's deal with the open close.
Okay.
So if you have that book, you can see open, close, tap. When I
Yeah.
say, I can give you some example.
Yeah. If you can get, yeah, that's brilliant.
You can
Beautiful.
play with the wrist.
Mm-hmm.
I call that tap. You can play the
Mm-hmm.
open.
Yeah.
See that from here. I can
Yeah.
play
The
the
view's
open.
better. Thank you.
That's the open, and that's the close,
Yeah.
and that's the tap. So I always try to write exactly what you're going to do in that book, the motion control.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. That's
So
brilliant.
you can see double stroke. You can do it only with the wrist,
Mm-hmm.
only with the molar,
Yeah.
only with the open close,
Mm-hmm.
only with that motion, with that motion, with that motion, and I write on top
Mm.
of the left right. I write open, close, tap.
Ah, brilliant, brilliant. So the student can have access to all the information right there. Because sometimes it's a bit tricky. You see a book and you see just the notation, and you're like, but now if you have the motion on top of it, this is brilliant. This is
Yeah, yeah.
gorgeous.
And I have a book that's called the 12/8 African Groove.
Okay.
Touch, 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 touch. And all the motion, I build all the motion on touch, 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 touch.
Okay.
Sometimes
Based on
you
the
play
same
with
rhythm.
both hands, sometimes you play with one hand, the left. You can see on my Instagram, I
Mm-hmm.
did a lot of examples.
Yeah.
And a lot of polyrhythm, and you can see that you can build a lot of motion on one motion. When I say one motion, I mean ostinato or cascara. You
One
have
rhythm. Yeah. Yeah.
one rhythm, and on top of that, you build a lot of motions, and that
Okay.
can be really hard. For example,
Of
if you
course.
play from ta chi on the foot, cha
Mm-hmm.
chi ta chi, so it's 6 or
Mm-hmm.
12, 3.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And on hands, you can play tick, tick, tickaka, tick, tick, tickaka, tick, tick, tickaka, tick, tick, tickaka. And you can put those tick, tick, tickaka orchestrate around the key.
Of course.
And those two simple motion can be really, really complicated and
Mm-hmm.
create a lot of music with those two motions, 6 and 7, which is
Mm-hmm.
6 and 7. It's like,
Yeah.
it's really hard, it's six
Yeah.
and seven, or five
Yeah.
and seven,
Yeah.
or 3 and 7.
Yeah.
So that's the thing that my books deal with. A lot of polyrhythm. If
Nice.
I say a title on my books, it's a polyrhythm. But I start simple. The book starts simple, and then
It's getting
Hey.
harder and harder and harder.
that's the thing.
Yeah.
And
But those things are. Sorry.
I try to deal with different counts every time.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Which can really open the student minds, rhythmic wise and music wise. Like this opens the door to creativity to such a level. Like you can come up with an insane amount of fantastic ideas, mixing the 6 and the 7 or 5 and 7, whatever rhythm you want to
Yes,
mix
5 and
together.
7 sounds scary, but if you start, when you start, for me, when I start deal with those things, it sounds 5 and 7. What I'm going to do now? It's sometimes it's 7 bars, sometimes it's 5 bars. Also 5 and 4.
Yeah.
It's also a thing.
Yeah.
And I try to concentrate on one motion each. So it's like I can 1 year play only 5. 5 with
For 1 year. Okay.
1 year, sometimes 2 years.
Okay.
Give you some example. The Virgil Donati didi da da didi da da didi da da
Yeah.
didi da didi da da.
Yeah.
When I saw that the first time, it was so scary. What he's doing, what he's doing. So I start to practice. Scary, not scary. You can't make the scary
Stop.
manage you or stop you. No.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah, yeah. Of
you
course.
see something, you start working.
Yeah,
And
brilliant.
always, when you start working on something, give it 2 years, 3 years. Don't limit the timing. Okay, I need
Mm,
to do it in 1 month. No, you don't.
yeah,
You don't. You can discipline yourself every day on the same motion, same motion. And
yeah.
when you do so, you always can get forward. Know what I mean?
Of
That's the
course,
thing.
of course.
The thing is to take the same thing and to try to create something new from that thing. Okay,
Hmm. Hmm.
every day. And sometimes your body creates something that you didn't thought about.
It's crazy, yeah.
You
Because
can
it's just,
start practice on doubles. So for example,
yeah, yeah.
and then you can realize that motion, that feel, that accent. That I give you some example. Try to play double titi tata titi tata titi tata, and try to accent different counts.
Hmm.
Try to
Hmm.
accent seven. Ti ta ti ta ti ta ti ta ti. Ti ka ti ka ti ka
Mm.
ti ta, and stay with the double.
Yeah, yeah,
So immediately the double starts to be something else. It's so hard.
it's crazy, yeah.
Sometimes it's scary, And
Yeah,
if you put on top of that, not on top, above that, you put some ostinato. So it's make it more difficult.
that's
And
crazy.
that's the thing that I try always to deal with, because I think it's make your brain more sharp, and
Of course.
then that sometimes it creates some new music or something new, that not exist, or that's the thing. That's the thing for me. I always try to develop my technique, always. Not because I need it or not need it, I like it or I don't like it. I tell you, I give you an example. I'm not a heavy metal player. I'm not.
Hmm.
But a lot of time I practice on heavy metal things. It's make me
Yeah.
laugh, but it's not my it's not my thing at all. I like those people. I respect those
Yeah.
people, but that's not my thing. I don't have any tattoo, anything. I don't know. I don't know.
Your hair are too short,
I
basically.
like to practice on those.
Yeah, it's pretty fun, yeah.
Okay, I like that. I like that. So most cases, people like me don't like those stuff, and I tell to my student, everything you can't do, you need to practice on. Don't think
Yeah.
I like it, I don't like it. That's not my style. That's my style. No, it's not the thing. The thing is to
Mm.
make your body move. You need to move your body. You know what I mean?
Hmm. Yeah, yeah, definitely.
That's the thing.
That's brilliant. I like that. It's not about liking it or not. Like you need it, and you're gonna, regardless of if you like it or not, you're gonna improve. By practicing another style, you're gonna improve the style that you do like anyway. Because your coordination gets better, your technique, your vocabulary. Like it's gonna help you out regardless. So you might as well give it a shot.
Vocabulary. And you can take that vocabulary. You can. The heavy metal can play. Okay, so the jazz player. So you can take the same thing with different feels, different
Yeah.
sound, different
Hmm.
orchestrate,
Yeah.
and it's the same coordination,
Yeah. Yeah.
same lead sheet, same the lead sheet. It's working the same,
It's the
but the
same
sound.
mechanics, but yeah.
You can see also Vinny Colaiuta and Dave Weckl and a lot of great drummers. They play a lot of heavy metal phrases, but it's not sound heavy metal. But
Hmm.
it's like heavy metal, right foot, right hand,
Hmm.
left
Hmm.
foot, left hand. So
Hmm.
badi bada badi bada badi bada badi bar,
Yeah.
and around the kit. And if you put that on fusion or jazz stuff, it can sound amazing. And
Yeah. Definitely.
you don't realize any heavy metal. It's not heavy metal, it's fusion.
Yeah.
But it's the same technique, the
It's the
same
same
phrase.
thing, basically. Yeah. Yeah. That's
So
brilliant.
for me, it's not about I like that or I don't like that. And that makes me a lot of problem with students because, oh, I don't want that. I don't like that. No, 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 no. You need that. You need that more than you think.
Yeah, that's brilliant.
Double
That's
pedal. I'm
brilliant.
not playing double pedal. You need to play double pedal, not because you're going to use them, because it's like warm up. Your body start
Yeah,
warm up.
yeah.
So you're always busy with coordination, always busy with motion,
Yeah.
always busy with polyrhythms, not because you need, because that's the life, you breathe,
Yeah.
breathe. That's how to
Yeah.
breathe. That's the thing for me. That's the thing for me, and I feel good with that. And my students also feel good with that because
That's
it makes
brilliant.
you getting progress always.
That's
Respect
brilliant.
the progress, respect the process.
Yeah. Yeah. This is beautiful. Yanni, the interview is coming to towards the end. Unfortunately, thank you so much again for your time.
Thank
Uh,
you.
Dude, I can talk with you about drumming for 5 hours straight, but we need to we need unfortunately to stop at some point. I just want to make sure that people know where to reach out, because you just told me you're a student, because you're teaching from students from all around the world, basically, right? If someone wants to study with you, which I strongly recommend, by the way,
You go to my site.
how do they reach out?
It's my site is www. Okay, I need to see that. It's called basically it's called Mother Drum.
Madar Drum, okay.
Mother Drum. And if you write Mother Drum on Google, I think you're going to see it.
That's going to be there, yeah.
www.motherdrum.com.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so people can reach out to you, and you're teaching people from all levels, all styles.
I try.
As much as possible. Where else can people find you? Like Instagram, Facebook?
Yeah, I have the Instagram, but the Instagram is not Yoni Madar. It's like Johnny Madar.
Okay, it's a different
And
one, yeah.
YouTube is Yoni Madar, and I have also my Facebook also is my Facebook is Mother Drum, MADARDARUM, Mother Drum,
Madar drums. Okay,
Mother Drum,
brilliant, brilliant.
and also I have TikTok now in the
Okay,
last 2 years also.
cool.
Also, the TikTok is also Johnny Madar.
Okay, so the same. So TikTok, Instagram, YouTube,
I tell you,
Facebook, website.
people told me why is so much too much names, and I tell you something. I try to make people came not because the name, because the thing, because the information. So it's not because you're your mother. It's because I like that exercise, I like that music, I like that phrase, I like that solo, I like because that, not
Okay.
because of the name, without name. Like if you remember Led Zeppelin in the 70s, they wrote nothing on the on the album. You can see it if you check it out.
Yeah.
They
That's
tried
crazy.
to speak with the music, not with the name.
Okay, so you get taking that approach basically
Yeah,
to a social media.
for me, it doesn't matter if I have 2 million followers or if I have 10,000. It's matter if people enjoy the thing. The people that enjoy the thing, that's the people that interesting me. I try to make people be happy, not about how much the numbers. So because of that,
Yeah.
we have a lot of name. You can find me Johnny Madar or Yoni Madar or whatever. And
Okay.
sometimes it's not good in the matter of publishing. It's not good, but
Okay.
I don't care.
To be honest, I was a bit confused when I introduced you. I was like, how am I supposed to pronounce? Because sometimes I see Johnny, sometimes I see Yoni. So maybe I messed it up in the introduction. So if I did, my
That's
apologies.
okay. No, Yoni Madar. That's my.
Yoni, that's your name. Brilliant. So people can reach out. And I took a lesson with you years ago, by the way. It's fantastic. I
Thank you.
strongly recommend it to anybody. And you're a fantastic educator, fantastic drummer, musician, very funny dude as well. So which is also really cool.
Yeah.
So
and I try to limit myself. It's not 100%, but you see now. It's only something like 5%.
5%. Okay. So that's we'll keep that 5%, and we'll leave the 95%. So anyway, Yoni, thank you so much. It's been an absolute pleasure, a blessing. Thank you. And again, good luck with everything that's happening. It is so sad. We don't even know what to say, but anyway, wish you nothing but the best in that awful situation. But drumming wise, thank you so much. Thanks for your time, and I hope everybody's going to follow you, because there's so much stuff to learn from you. as a musician, as an educator. Get these books, book lessons with him. This guy is fantastic. So again, thank you so much, and have a great day.
Thank you.
See you soon. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye. All right, there you go. So that was Mr. Yoni Madar from Israel. I hope you guys enjoyed the interview. I hope you enjoyed the fantastic information that he just shared with us. So please make sure to reach out if you want lessons, if you want to get his book. Follow him on Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, Facebook. Go to his website. This guy has loads of incredible information. So with that being said, also don't forget to follow DFK, Drumfills Kafé, on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok. Go to drumfillscafe.com. We have loads of interviews with phenomenal drummers from all over the world. We have drum articles, loads of stuff. So make sure you don't want to miss anything. And that's it. I hope you enjoyed it. Have a fantastic day. Bye-bye.